I take the tape out of my pocket and just vzz, snip. Oh, this tape?
Also, how is that tape labeled? I assume they were just like labeled by timestamp. And did he have the exact timestamp memorized?
Yeah.
Or does this tape say this is the one that shows that Russell Thorpe is guilty?
Yeah. Why?
And also, why did Chuck watch that one before then? Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You've just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the new guy, the rookie, the greenhorn, what are we saying now, Leif, that we're in season 4?
I'm not sure, but call me Serena. Let's see where this thing goes.
You do realize that is your cousin that I slept with, right?
That's what makes it hot.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get into this. So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm diving in for the very first time. And together, we are your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And expect some iconic Phantom moments too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we are all about inclusivity here on the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there's always a seat for you at the non-judging breakfast table. So go ahead and grab a mimosa, a cup of coffee, or roll up something from Nate or Chuck's stash, and let's go ahead and get into this.
Before we get into the episode, we got another Spotify comment from Mal on episode 19.
What is it now?
And Mal comments, I think it's noteworthy that when Blair finds out that Dan is responsible for Louie's family finding out about them, she doesn't immediately accuse him of sabotaging her on purpose, which she 100% would have done with Serena or Chuck. Also, I'm deeply offended that Blair didn't get best outfit for her pink dress. At least give her credits for buying Dan's tie.
Well, so yeah, we did give Dan.
Yeah,
the credit,
sorry, I just didn't like all the pink.
Yeah, it was so hot pink, which was really,
and they all kind of just like canceled each other out.
But that is a really good point, though, that Blair does not instantly assume that Dan is trying to sabotage her the way she would if it was Chuck or Serena, because either of them would be trying to sabotage her. So it just speaks to the history, but it also speaks to how she doesn't really view Dan as a threat, but also how she thinks that Dan is a little bit more respectable and less schemy. Mm-hmm. So.
And for those who are kind of missing the Dan and Blair interactions in these last couple episodes, when I was...
So much.
Yeah.
You're speaking to me now.
Yeah. I did notice while editing episodes 19 and 20 back to back, there was another parallel between Dan and Blair that we didn't really talk about. In Petty and Pink, Serena is aggressively possessive of Dan. He's mine.
Yeah.
When she's talking to Blair.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the next episode, The Princess and the Frog, Chuck shows that same type of possessiveness towards Blair. Mm-hmm. You're mine, yeah. Blair. You can't be with anyone else.
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So it's another way the writers are definitely paralleling them.
Yeah, yeah. They're both being seen as the possession of somebody else.
But we are here to talk about this Dan and Blair free episode, season 4, episode 21, Shattered Bass. Original air date was May 9th, 2011. Based on the episode title is based on the movie Shattered Glass. Director Billy Ray, not that Billy Ray. Starring Hayden Christensen and Chloe Savini and Steve Zahn. I tried to watch this last night. I tried.
Was Hayden Christensen not bringing it home?
No.
And I mean, Steve Zahn is just Steve Zahn.
Yeah, I don't even think I got to him. I saw Chloe Savini. She was pretty. She was just sitting there being pretty.
Mm-hmm. I do remember hearing about that movie. What year did it come out?
2003.
Okay.
So right around Attack of the Clones era.
Yeah. Surprised Lucas let him out of the cage to go do other stuff.
But this episode was written by Sarah Goodman, who has previously written The Wrath of Khan, and then in season 3, How to Succeed in Bassness, The Hurt Locket, Ex-Husbands and Wives, and then in season 4, she's written Double Identity, The Witches of Bushwick, and While You Weren't Sleeping.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Double Identity was co-written with Josh Safran.
Yes.
Yeah, she has an up and down resume.
I think other than The Hurt Locket, everything on there is fairly good.
Yeah. How to Succeed in Bassness. Yeah, there's The Hurt Locket is the one that always stands out to me as being just terrible. I think it is. I mean, Hurt Locket is among my least favorite episodes.
Mm-hmm. Episode was directed by Allison Liddy Brown. This is her second episode of Gossip Girl. She had done Remains of the J. And that's the one where Serena throws the party for, air quotes, for Jenny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she does have...
that one's not terrible.
Yeah, she does have 83 directing credits going back to 95, all in TV, including 2 TV movies.
Okay. She's been around.
Yeah.
Does she do any more Gossip Girl after this?
No.
Okay.
And we also get the return of the great Wallace Shawn and Margaret Collins.
Yes, because this season, Wallace Shawn, not enough.
And then also the return of Michael Boatman as Russell Thorne.
Yeah. Yes.
Why don't you give us that Vulture recap?
Vulture, what do you have to say? What are the limits of love? This was the question that hovered over the glossy heads of the players on last night's episode of Gossip Girl, each of whom tested the boundaries of their intendeds with varying results. Blair wondered if Louis would ever tolerate her acquired habits of scheming, playing sex games, and dropping everything, even him, to tend to Chuck Bass the second he calls from a rooftop. Louis claims he will, but is he being sincere? Blair gives him another test just to be safe. Meanwhile, Nate finally got Raina to stop yelling at him about trying to find out who killed her dead mother by telling her it was actually her father who killed her. That didn't make Raina feel any better, and by the forlorn look on Nate's face as their limo drove into the distance, he realized he probably still wasn't going to get laid for quite some time. Neither will Dan Humphrey, much to Charlie's disappointment, as it turns out, being asked to call a girl by his ex-girlfriend's sister's name while doing it wasn't his bag. That's right, I forgot that it's also stepsister.
Yeah, that was not what Dan was looking for.
No, that wasn't. Yeah, like I said, I forgot in my earlier part that yes, it's also stepsister. That's my ex stepsister, your cousin. Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Indeed. We get into Act 1. We open in another Blair as Audrey dream, and this time it's Roman holiday. She is riding on the back of a scooter with Louis driving. She smiles at Louis' reflection in the side view mirror, but then it morphs into Chuck. The dream turns into a nightmare, and he starts driving recklessly, leading to a crash as Blair awakes.
Oh, Blair. Just stop.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. It's so foretelling, and it's so annoying.
And then Gossip Girl has this to say. Good morning, sleepyheads. Looks like dream until your dreams come true wasn't such a good idea after all. Blair awakes from her nightmare and applies some cover-up to the small cut on her cheek.
We all remember what happened. Oh, but she wasn't scared, though,
No.
so that made it okay. Douchebag.
We see a shot of the broken glass in the Empire Suite, and then the camera shifts so we see Nate looking through the broken glass with a disappointed look on his face. He has his bag packed and he's ready to leave, but he has time for a cup of coffee and a tete-a-tete with Chuck. Speaking of Charles, he is acting like nothing is wrong and invites Nate to the ribbon cutting of his new Brooklyn hotel, Charles' Place. Nate is still upset about lying to Raina and tells Chuck he knows what he did to Blair. Chuck says, "If you leave, don't be there when I get back." Nate replies, "I'm already gone."
Oh, you two. And stop sparring. But again, I did notice that Chuck is now completely put together again. Like, oh, I punched a window and now I sobered up.
But did he, though?
He
shaved.
He shaved.
Vanessa calls Serena to figure out if she is behind Charlie's scheme from last week. Serena just says what Charlie is saying is probably true, but if not, good on her for firing back. Okay, bye.
Yeah, Vanessa, go away. Just go away. You have no purpose on this show anymore.
Go to Spain.
Go to Spain.
Dan and Charlie are at the loft eating candy for breakfast and being cute and flirty. Charlie may have inadvertently revealed her kink a little early in the relationship when she mentions her favorite childhood book. She recovers by commenting on how his writing resembles Fitzgerald. This allows Dan to segue into the party of the week, which is an alumni event for Constant St. Jude's, to which he invites her. She accepts with a quick kiss, which seems to surprise Dan a bit. Dan then also invites her to the pre-party and engagement toast at the Waldorf hotel or apartment.
Yeah, so unlike our typical Gossip Girl episodes with a party of the week, we have two parties this week because we have the engagement party and the black tie affair. So I thought that was kind of interesting that there were two parties this week.
And we end in the middle of the second party, essentially.
Yes.
But also, I know, so he's invited to the engagement party, which is, I think, the first public declaration of Dan and Blair being friends.
Yes. Yeah, I actually clocked that.
They declared they were dating, but they really weren't at the pink party.
Right.
But this is like the first declaration, like he's being invited to a social event.
Yes.
By Blair.
By Blair. Yeah. By Blair personally. So I did clock that and did see that, like, and he is going enthusiastically to support his friend.
Yeah.
So I really did like that.
Speaking of the Waldorf apartment, we see Blair, Eleanor, and Cyrus discussing Louis giving up his right of succession, the engagement party they can throw to rectify that, and advertising vitamin water. Serena comes downstairs and gives a half-hearted apology to Blair, who sees right through it.
Yeah. Again, I clocked the vitamin water. It's been a minute since we've promoted vitamin water. Yeah. It's been all Bing for so long.
Yeah.
Also, we see Cyrus here, right?
Yes.
For the first time. It was so great to see him back.
And Eleanor.
And Eleanor, yes. It was Yeah, it was great. We've seen Eleanor this season. I don't feel like we've seen Cyrus yet, or at least, as I said, not enough. I would have Cyrus on every episode if I could.
Yes.
Just because even this episode where he's just so thoughtful and kind, and I just love his presence on the Upper East Side.
Jack's back meeting with Raina. He immediately invites her back to a hotel room. She instead sits back at the bar and he joins her. Raina explains that Bart killed her mother in the building fire of which Jack was aware. Raina offers Jack the control of Bass Industries in exchange for the evidence Chuck is protecting. However, they are interrupted by Nate, who is shocked to see Raina with Jack.
This might be my favorite Jack episode. I mean, Jack is always just going to come in and be a disgusting human being from the moment he walks on. And the way he is like instantly flirting with Raina, and he's so gross, and he's such an asshole. And when Nate comes in and he just starts firing shots at Nate, it was just, I really felt it was Jack at a 10 from the start of this. Well, I guess actually it's more like Jack at an 8. I think Jack at a 10, he's stealing people's, he's bartering with people.
That's interesting. I was going to ask you because a couple episodes ago you were wholly against the William Vanderwoodsum glow up, but I guess you are here for the Jack glow up.
I'm not really finding it to be much of a glow up, really. I'm not feeling on Jack's side. I feel like Jack had a funny episode where he helped out Chuck. I'm not really here for him to be a good guy. I was just here for what he did this episode.
Okay. But it seems like he's now on Team Chuck, which is Team Main Cast, which is the quote unquote good guys.
Yeah. I feel like he played ball with the good guys, okay. Right? I don't feel like Jack, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like Jack, I feel like Jack at this point could still very easily do another heel turn in the next episode. I felt like with William, they were trying to it felt like they were trying to make an honest man of him again. And I didn't really get that feeling with Jack, because they still had Jack be a total fucking scumbag from the start, too.
Charlie returns home to the penthouse to find Rufus waiting with her meds she forgot to pick up. He found out about them from Carol, who called and mentioned that the last time Charlie was happy she went off her meds and things went bad. Charlie acknowledges this, and she definitely doesn't want that to happen again.
Yep. Definitely does not want that. So she will be sure, absolutely. Obviously, she's just going to take her meds and everything is going to be fine. Definitely not going to single white female her cousin.
Nah. Louis is walking the streets between Blair and Sophie. Sophie is unimpressed by Manhattan's architecture. Blair once again apologizes for Chuck's outburst at the party in the last episode and invites them both to the ball tonight. When Blair spots Jack, she makes an excuse to leave. After she does, Sophie calls her out for lying and also tells Louis she went to see Chuck after the party.
Yeah. Blair, these people are going to follow you. Like, these people have resources beyond yours. And you would have him followed if you suspected something. And you're a terrible liar. She's not usually a terrible liar, but here she is.
Gossip Girl has this to say. Let's hope the only thing B has in common with Marie Antoinette is impeccable taste, or she might just lose her head before she gets her crown. We go to Act 2. At the penthouse, Charlie is looking at old pics of Dorina and Cher at parties. She lets Serena know that Dan invited her to the ball tonight. Serena is slightly awkward about it, but ultimately supportive of her cousin. When the discussion of new dresses comes up, Serena is confused why Charlie doesn't have her trust fund yet and decides to investigate.
Yep. I do like how it was like, oh, maybe these problems with my mom and Cece are in the way, and Serena's like, nah, that isn't it. Trust me, my mom and Cece hate each other, and we're doing fine.
Blair visits Chuck at the construction site of his future hotel in Brooklyn to warn him about Jack. Chuck doesn't apologize for what happened last week, but does say he feels bad about it at least. As Blair leaves the site, we see Louis has secretly followed her in his limo.
Yeah, which I don't blame Louis, but also Blair, a text would have sufficed.
Yeah, once again.
Yeah.
And also, how did
had
she
to
not
go.
see the limo like 20 feet away as she walks out of the building?
Yeah. Yeah. Although she could very easily assume it's Chuck's, but
I mean,
it
the
is
window's
right
down
there.
with his head sticking.
The window's down with his head sticking out of it. He is not subtle. A private investigator, he is not.
Well, also, a thing I meant to mention earlier, how quick did Chuck get this new hotel pushed through?
He wasn't talking about it ever before now. And then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I bought a hotel in Brooklyn now too. So I can go there and have reason to be there for more plot that's going to come up.
So I already got like all the building permits approved, and
Yeah. He's Chuck Bass.
I guess so.
Just imagine him sitting in like the building permit office, like, and what do you makes you think I'm gonna rush this through for you, pal? I'm Chuck Bass.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Who?
I mean, if you would have said Donald Trump, I would have recognized you. God damn, those Trumps always getting me.
Well, I'm sure that they have nothing on the horizon.
Nah.
I'm
No
sure they have
distractions
nothing
coming
coming
up.
up. No distractions coming up from them. Thank God this show ends before 2016.
Jack has called back Russell for a meeting to essentially try to get him to do the same deal that Raina offered. Jack tells Russell that Blair is Chuck's biggest weakness and is the key towards pushing him over the edge. Russell mentions a box that Chuck has that he is willing to pay for.
Yeah, we have, Jack scheming again, and again, not out of character to be like, your kid seems like she doesn't really know what she's doing. I'm going to step this up a level.
Charlie again returns to the penthouse, this time with a new dress, which Serena is excited to see. Serena gives her some privacy when Charlie gets a call from Carol. We only hear Charlie's half of the conversation, but we get the impression that Carol is worried about Charlie. After the call ends, Charlie dumps her new prescription in the trash.
In the living room, next to the desk where everybody uses that trash can. And at the time, the empty trash can next to the desk.
Yes.
Or near empty.
So do you think she did that on purpose or accident, or just because she's dumb?
I think that it was, I kind of wonder if that was a cry for help thing. Like, I'm not going to take these, but I need someone to know I'm not taking them. Because it did feel very obvious and very easy to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
So whether conscious or whether subconsciously, it felt like a cry for help.
And this is what Gossip Girl has to say. I don't think that's what the doctor had in mind when he said, use as directed. We go into Act 3. At the engagement party, Penelope is mocking Blair for Louis no longer being a prince. Cyrus lets Eleanor know that, like him, Princess Sophie is a bird watcher. Sophie arrives to applause. Cyrus and Eleanor walk over, and Cyrus gives her a less than formal greeting. Blair steps in before Cyrus can do any more damage and asks Louis' whereabouts.
Again, Cyrus is just a gem. She's an ornithologist like me, and I don't want you to talk to me about bugs. They're birds, dear. And I don't know. He's just so charming.
Louis goes to the construction site to confront Chuck. Louis accuses him of going after Blair, but Chuck easily turns the conversation back around on him. As a frustrated Louis leaves, he questions Chuck's bandaged hand.
Louis, I mean, I get why you go to Chuck and why you're trying to act this way to Chuck, but you're not going to win this that way. Chuck's not going to give a shit.
No.
Chuck's not intimidated by your casino country.
No.
He probably bankrolls part of your country in the fall every year.
Rufus is surprised to see Serena still at the penthouse. Rufus is suddenly an expert on Blair Waldorf and questions why she isn't at Blair's engagement party.
And then, gives a great fatherly advice about returning to your toxic friendship with your best friend.
Yes.
Oh, because she's not Jenny.
Serena goes into her old room, now Charlie's room, to find a dress for the party. Charlie is overwhelmed with insecurities surrounding going on a big date with Dan. Serena tells her to breathe and then reviews the fundamentals with her. She also mentions how great a night she had with Dan at Cotillion. Conveniently, Charlie spots the promo photo of Dan dipping Serena at Cotillion. Despite Serena's advice that Charlie's hair looks better down, she pulls it back in a ponytail, clearly imitating Serena's style from the photo.
Serena, white female. This is where we start seeing it.
Yes. You get the fundamentals. Lipstick lasts longer, but gloss is funner.
Yeah.
Dan loves to dance, but he's terrible at it, so no laughing.
Right.
And your feet won't hurt in heels if you drink just about the right amount of champagne.
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds kind of like you do just about the right amount of dabs and you can walk down the street.
Yep. Yeah. Give me just the right amount of dabs and I can walk through Manayunk.
Too much and you won't leave the couch.
Right? Yep. Too much I won't leave the couch and not enough, and I also won't leave the couch.
Eleanor and Blair observe Sophie having a good time with Cyrus. It's impossible not to love that guy. Cyrus has completely won over Princess Sophie by talking up Blair's positive attributes. Sophie says she will make sure that the court reinstates Louis as heir and that he and Blair can make their first royal appearance tonight at the ball. Louis also shows up and Cyrus toasts the happy couple.
I loved Cyrus's list, how it gets to the, avid friend of birds, and he said, you've never met a duck you'd let go hungry. Which, her love for that duck pond and it's just another one of those things.
Lies with the truth.
Exactly. It lies with the truth, but just to flame Blair and make her look good, and just doing, because it shows how much Cyrus pays attention and how thoughtful he is toward his stepdaughter, who he hardly ever even sees. So it just really, as much as I've always loved Cyrus, it just cranked that up a little more.
At this point, I kind of thought they were going to waste the opportunity to say the Princess Bride to be. But
Same. I was
right there for you.
I was waiting for it. Yes, because he says earlier on something very close to it, and it's like, you say the thing. Come on.
Yeah. Jack goes to the construction site to find Chuck stumbling drunk. Jack goads Chuck into attacking him just as Nate also shows up. Jack motions over two large men that are implied to be workers from a mental health facility, but are dressed more like they work at a warehouse. Whoever they are, forcibly remove Chuck. Jack takes Chuck's key card and makes a rehab joke. Nate follows after Chuck, and the two men we see Russell was watching from above.
Yeah, this all seemed very easy and convenient, but it also felt very Gossip Girl. So it felt like, wow, he just got these guys to come and take Chuck away. But also in the Gossip Girl universe and general TV universe, that could happen.
So knowing what we know at the end of the episode, were those guys just some guys that probably like working downstairs on the construction site?
Yeah, exactly. He's just, hey, you and you.
You got the same color clothes on. Come on,
guys. Yeah, wear this tan jacket for me.
Gossip Girl has this to say though. We hear one bass is hitting bottom. Looks like the hotel isn't the only Charles that needs rehab. We move into Act 4. Serena finds Blair at the party and makes a much more heartfelt apology. This time being excessed because Penelope would have gotten too much satisfaction out of being maid of honor. Their phones buzz as they get a blast about Chuck being hauled off to rehab.
I always love when they make up. My favorite thing in Blair-Serena relationships is when they make up. And it's always sweet and heartfelt, and it's always the best friends just taking all of the bullshit and saying, all right, fuck it, we know who we are, let's just ignore all of that. And so it was nice.
Serena and Dan bump into each other. Dan tries to clear the air between them, and Serena says it's all good, but I'm not buying it.
They seem at the end of this, they seem like, okay, they're at a tolerable place, but still cold. Still not too friendly.
Well, I don't think Serena's too happy that Dan asked Charlie.
No, she probably isn't, but also, fuck off, Serena.
Blair goes to her room to redo the makeup on her cut, and Louis is there waiting for her. He tells her he knows she went to see Chuck twice. Blair has an excuse for everything, but Louis somehow connects Chuck's bandaged hand to her cut. Blair admits to having a dark side and offers Louis the chance to end things. However, he still loves her, and if he wants to share her whole life with him, to join him and his mother at the party tonight for their formal debut.
Isn't the engagement party the formal debut? It almost seems like this is the formal debut, but okay, they need to get her at the party of the week too.
This is the exclusive pre-party.
Yes.
But also, this is very much a parallel to last year with Chuck and the Empire State Building.
Yes.
Come to this place at this time, and we can get married, or else we're not going to be married ever.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the way it plays out, it just really feels...
Well, hasn't played out yet.
The end. Yeah. No, I'm saying like the... Yeah, I'll wait on what I was going to say.
Dan asks Serena if she has seen Charlie yet. Just then, Charlie gets off the elevator and Serena immediately recognizes her cotillion dress.
We all did. I don't know how it fit Charlie. I mean, I know they're almost the same height, but
not really.
They're not.
Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie's a bit shorter than Serena. Different body types, but
sure.
Cool. Yeah, she just slipped that on. This old thing.
At the Empire Suite, Thorpe is going through the box of videotapes from Andrew Tyler. He pulls one out with a grin on his face and gets up to leave, but is stopped by Chuck, Jack, and Nate getting off the elevator. The reveal the whole fight was a ruse despite Chuck getting in at least one real punch. Good guy Jack came up with the plan and reached out to Nate when the Thorpes approached him. Security guards also get off the elevator to force Thorpe to show the video.
We're just gonna let you steal the thing that we know. If I am Thorpe in that moment, I take the tape out of my pocket and just snip. Oh, this tape?
Also, how is that tape labeled? I assume they were just like labeled by timestamp. And did he have the exact timestamp memorized?
Yeah.
Or does this
Yeah,
tape say this is the one that shows that Russell Thorpe is guilty?
yeah. Why
And
has no
also,
one
why did
watched?
Chuck watch that one before then?
Yeah, why did Chuck not watch? You're investigating a murder, essentially, Chuck. And you only watch one of the 12 tapes? Like, wow, this stuff happened before my dad was accused of killing someone. So check it, Chuck. Or after, whatever the timestamp was, but Chuck, watch all the tapes.
So yeah, they watch the tape and they see that Bart left after Bart left. Russell comes in and he's locking the door shut from the outside, and he's the one that started the fire. And of course, the letter from Avery was to Thorpe and not Bart. And well, you
I was
predicted
so
everything.
proud. I did. I predicted that whole thing. I was so proud of that I predicted the letter because the letter threw me because when it was first of all when Russell first told Chuck that was the case, that yeah, I hate your dad because he killed my wife, I was like, that's sus, something seems off. When the letter came in and it didn't have a name on it, it was, wait a second, that was not addressed to Bart Bass. So yeah, just the way that everything played out, I was a little bit ahead of that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like since Russell told Chuck the truth, the lie, I've been ahead of Russell Thorpe until the end of this episode. It was the first time I was not.
And we go into Act 5. Serena attacks Charlie about the dress, but a confused Dan tries to deflect and defend her.
Yeah, because Serena, you're not mad about the dress. You're not mad about the dress. She borrowed a dress from you. Now, granted, Charlie, you could have just said, oh, my B, sorry I borrowed your dress. But Charlie had to turn it up a bit and be like,
but at one point,
no.
like Serena said, you're not leaving here with that dress on. Like,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she's like, take it off. Take it off. It's like Serena, she's at a party with nothing else, without other clothes. You want her to take a dress off in the middle of this party? You're a psychopath. And Dan just being like, I don't care whose dress it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. Who cares? Does she dress like you? Let's go. But yeah, you're not mad at the dress, Serena. You're mad that she's with Dan.
As Chuck continues to interrogate Russell, an impatient and hungry Jack complains about the lack of food. Thorpe admits he thought he was killing Bart and not his wife. He also reveals the deal he made with Bart to cover the fire in exchange for Thorpe's company and the insurance money. Chuck lets Thorpe go, I guess for Raina's sake?
Yeah. Which that was, I first of all, when Jack came in and picked up the phone, I was like, okay, I'm calling the cops. It's like, yeah, what? Obviously. I did, again, Jack was funny in this scene with his, hey, can we do this quickly? I'm kind of hungry and you got nothing in here except hallucinogenic mushrooms. And just his like little interjections to break the serious tone of the scene. But also we have Russell here just giving complete confession, a complete signed confession, telling everything. And then, then Chuck's like, well, yeah, you're right. Your daughter might be mad. So I'll just let you go. Although he does offer him Thorpe Industries, right?
But he doesn't take it.
Do we know that? Do we know he doesn't take it? Because he just says you can have it, and he put his hand out.
Well, then after that, Jack is like, at least let me get my, airfare.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Rado's paying for, but still.
Yeah.
that I think it implies that Chuck was not taking the money.
Yeah,
He just let him go for no reason.
Yeah.
Just like Serena let Juliet go.
Yeah.
Oh, he did so much to his family already.
Yeah, we did so much to his family already after he drove me across state lines and was definitely flirting with me and leading me on and putting me in a position that a teacher should not be in with their students. Not saying he deserves jail for the state lines thing, but he deserved to be... Fuck that guy. Of course, he does deserve jail for the assault that he committed in jail.
Yes. Even if Damien is a piece of shit.
Against an ambassador's son. Like a dignitary from another country that you're just roughing up when you see him.
At the Waldorf apartment, Cyrus and Blair share leftover desserts from the concluded party. Blair is worried Louie will never be able to see or love her dark side like Chuck did.
Yeah, maybe. Just get over that and move past it.
But this is where we get the Princess Bride line.
Yes, where we do have Cyrus finally dropping the line, the Princess Bride to be.
And also his catchphrase as well.
Yes, that knowing everything is not enough. And it's really funny that, like, he uses it in a different way, too, right? Mm-hmm. Which I like how clever he can be with his catchphrase. And here it's, all of the darkness inside you is not enough to turn me away, which is pretty beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, there is someone besides Chuck and Louie that has seen pretty much all sides of her and seems to love her.
Every side of her.
Seems to love her.
I agree with that sentiment. Let's see if they can finally... Yeah, let's see if Harry can finally meet Sally sexually.
You made it weird.
I mean, yeah. He does that sometimes.
Nate is late to pick up an annoyed Raina. She also is pissed Jack backed out of the deal and told her he just used her for a free flight. Raina still blames Chuck for her mother's death and by extension blames Chuck for covering it up. She is still intent on vengeance at any cost, so Nate reveals the truth about whose father actually killed Mummy.
Yeah, you made a deal with Chuck. You did not make any deals with anyone else in that room.
Yeah.
You made a deal with Chuck not to tell.
At the penthouse, Rufus finds Charlie's empty pill bottle.
Which somehow the pills got on top of the papers he just threw in.
Yes.
Okay. They're very bouncy pills.
At the ball, Dan opens the cab door for Charlie, who ignores a call from Rufus.
Yep. She's fine.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
And Gossip Girl takes us to the final break with, they say love is the best medicine. That is, unless you don't take it. We move into the epilogue. Jack and Chuck do a post-mortem on the scheme and appear to make up. Chuck plans to win back Blair.
Great. Awesome. I can't wait to see more of Chuck and...
Raina, with Nate by her side, calls her father and tells him she knows the truth. Despite Thorpe's pleas, she says he is dead to her as her mother.
Raina, at any point in this conversation, when your dad says, did you learn this from Chuck? Did Chuck tell you this? Did Chuck... At any one of those points, you could have just said, no. Jack told me. Nate told me. Which it was Nate. But you could have thrown Jack under the bus. You could have just said, no, Chuck didn't tell me. Because he didn't. Because he didn't tell you, Raina.
Yeah. Serena has invited Vanessa to the penthouse because they both got out-schemed by Charlie. Rufus comes downstairs looking for Charlie and shows them the empty pill bottle.
Serena, she wore your dress. So it's not a huge scheme. Sure, she lied about it being your dress. But she didn't out-scheme you. She showed up dressed like you.
I disagree. She did the exact same thing she did with Vanessa. She made Serena into the villain so Dan would come and rescue her. And remember, Dan's like, no, leave her alone. And when they walk away, you see Charlie turn over her shoulder and look at Serena. Gotcha.
Because Dan needs a damsel to save. Dan needs a damsel to save. Yeah, he does. How many damsels do we got at the end of this scene? At the end of this episode? But also, Serena, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just...
Dan is escorting Charlie through the ball. We see Cotty and Iz are back and pretending not to hear Dan. Charlie mischievously pulls Dan into the headmistress Queller's office. Alone in the darkened office, she ignores his ramblings and removes her dress and invites him to join her on the desk. Dan goes over and starts making out with her as she begins to remove his clothes. Charlie then stops kissing him and tells Dan to call her Serena. Dan immediately loses wood and tells her this is a bad idea. As Dan leaves her to get dressed, Charlie gets a text that her trust fund account has been activated.
First, shout out to Cotty and Iz. It was, and especially Iz, who disappeared at the end of season 1. So having them back, who was nice. Cotty did. Oh, you're right. Cotty disappeared at the end of season 1, but it was great to have them back.
But also, if I'm much more petty than Dan, because if I was Dan, I would be saying, well, I was the one invited to Blair's engagement party. Where were you guys?
Well, here's my other thought about the two of them in this, is that because of that, because they're here and not at Blair's, my thought was that they are not only here in New York, but they're not under Blair's thumb. They're no longer minions. They're out there carving their own path, was the way I read into it. Which I was saving for stock watch, but I'll go ahead and say it now.
And also that you get the reference to season 1, episode 12, School Wise, when they're going to the office. When about the swim accident. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then let's also call me my cousin, who is your ex and your stepsister, because while I'm wearing this dress and have my hair up the way that it was for you, make me be that person, even though you're clearly into me for who I am. But like, I don't know. I don't know what medication prevents that.
Yeah, seems suspicious.
Yeah.
Blair passes by Cotty and Iz and drops that she is marrying a prince. She gets a call and then tells Serena's cousin to tell Louis that she was here and that she'll be back. But I'm not too sure how much she paid attention because Charlie seems more fixated on Dan, who is still straightening his clothing.
Yeah, I thought, and I meant to say this before, the end of that first scene where like Dan like walks out and Charlie's like, oh crap, but then it's like, oh, but I got my trust fund. That just seemed like a weird time for the script to put that in. But yeah, and then Blair just comes out and does this info dump of like, oh, if you see Louis, I gotta go save Chuck. It's like, what? You're running out. You get a phone call and you're running out to save Chuck when you were basically told by Louis, stop chasing after Chuck.
Well, she just says, tell him I was here, but I'll be back. She doesn't say anything about it.
Oh, I thought she said to Charlie, Chuck needs me. Or did she say that to someone else right beforehand? She does say out loud when she gets off the phone, Chuck needs me at some point. She mentions Chuck, that she's leaving because of Chuck.
I thought that was when she gets out on the roof.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I thought I remembered her saying, I got a call and Chuck really needs me. But I could be wrong.
I think it's just so obvious to everyone else, to us, that it's about Chuck.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, that it just felt obvious.
Yeah. Rufus tells Serena and Vanessa that Charlie is off her meds and that it happened before the last time she was happy and it ended badly.
We got that from earlier. He's come through with that a few times, so I didn't really have much to say on that.
Yeah, basically he comes in and tells, now Vanessa and Serena know about the meds.
Oh, okay. This is where he tells Vanessa and Serena about it. That's right. I forgot because he walks in on them and is surprised to see them talking.
And then back at the party, we see Minnie and Serena and Minnie Blair are back, and they are mocking an arriving Chuck. He ignores their jibes and says he's still fighting for Blair.
Adorable throwback to the Minnie Serena and Minnie Blair. I really liked the callbacks in this episode. Mm. I was rooting for you.
Blair shows she's still in field hockey shape by running up the stairs to the roof of the construction site. Blair sees a figure in the shadows and reveals she's got a call and said Chuck was up here threatening to jump again. When Thorpe steps into the light to reveal himself, it's pretty clear that was a lie.
So when she got the call at the ball, at the party, and was like, I have to leave. And like we said, whether or not she said it was for Chuck, we all knew it was for Chuck. I thought it was Louie. And when someone stepped out onto the roof there, I thought it was going to be Louie being like, fuck you. You ran off to go save Chuck again. So I was pretty shocked that it was Thorpe, because then the whole tone shifts that Blair's in danger.
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
That was the end of the episode. Gospel says this as the episode ends. A dream is just a dream, or is it? A place where fantasy and reality collide. Everything you wanted seems possible until you realize the nightmare's just beginning. XO, Gossip Girl. That is the episode, and what is coming next?
Well, Blair's in danger. I believe Blair is going to be in some kind of hostage situation that is going to be way too ridiculous to be believable, and that it will end up with Russell Thorpe getting away with it, but Blair being unharmed. Blair is a damsel in distress. Chuck is going to do everything he can to rescue her. Dan is going to rescue her.
Interesting.
There is no one on this show who can save a damsel in distress better than Dan Humphrey. It's not in Chuck's wheelhouse. Chuck is a schemer. He's not a saver.
He is the Dark Knight, though, and this is basically the Dark Knight setup.
Where is she? Where's Blair? He's only the Dark Knight because he can't he can't hide his accent unless he's grumbling.
Is Louis going to turn into the Two-Face?
Yeah. We're going to have Blair tied up into a bunch of canisters of oil or whatever blows up like that. But I do think that Louis is going to dump Blair because he's going to see that she'll always go running to Chuck. I think that's in here somewhere. The Charlie thing. Charlie's gonna get blown up somehow. Dan obviously is now no longer really fully on Team Charlie. I think that it is pretty easy to sway Dan into believing that somebody needs help. So I think that there's going to be some kind of intervention around Charlie, and hopefully one that Vanessa takes that goddamn trip. I hope Vanessa takes the goddamn trip and leaves on a unstable aircraft. I think that Russell is going to get away with whatever. I don't think Russell's going to jail. I'll say that too.
Okay.
I think those are my predictions.
Blair gonna die?
No. No. Blair's fine. We're gonna think Blair's in danger, but she's never gonna actually be in real danger. I don't feel like the show could go that dark. I feel like the show could kill Chuck. I don't think it could kill Blair. I don't think there's a show without Blair. There's a show without Chuck. There's not a show without Blair.
So What do you think is the deal with Charlie?
I feel like they're pushing sort of a borderline personality disorder and schizophrenia kind of mix here. They're definitely taking this single white female angle. I'm hoping she doesn't, put a stiletto through someone's eye. But
Why did she dump the pills out in plain sight?
like I said, that seems very cry for helpish. Like, hey, I feel that I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling good. So it's also kind of a maybe bipolar thing that they're going for as well. That I'm feeling manic, but maybe I need some help with this, but I don't want to say it. Or then again, dumping out the meds, she's also creating a situation where she's a damsel in distress even more. By not taking care of her own health and mental health, maybe she sees that as an avenue to being Dan. Or maybe she just gets so obsessed with Serena that she thinks she's Serena. And maybe that's the angle they're trying to take us.
Any other predictions?
I don't think so, because we're getting to the season finale. I think the big one is that Louis is going to get tired of this shit. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
Let's get into segments.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman.
Hello.
Good boy.
This week in fandom, we jumped into the Wayback Machine that travels to the Television Without Pity forums from 2011. Overall impression of the episode was it was not good.
It was all right. I thought it was better than the last episode.
Call me Serena? What?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. Gross. Now, if it were Chuck, she just picked the wrong guy. Because if it was Chuck, he'd be like, I'll call you whatever you want. Call you Blairina if you want.
Call you Lily.
He'll call you Lily. He says to Serena.
Why did Blair forgive Chuck so fast? Mentions of the Saffron interview.
Yeah. It seemed like following the previous episode, they wanted to do damage control and immediately put Blair back on Chuck's side. I really hated I hated Blair's Chuck shit in this episode. But yeah, it was, like you said, the Saffron interview, they really seemed to realize like, oh yeah, I guess he really did assault her and we need to really play that down even more.
Many commenters were disappointed at no Dan and Blair interactions.
Yep, same.
A few people are rooting for Thorpe to kill Blair to put her out of her misery.
No, I love Blair.
So apparently it's already been announced at this point that Kaylee Deefer is becoming part of the main cast next year because they were talking about it.
Oh, okay. And that's Charlie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just rename it the Chuck Bass Show. Everything is to serve Chuck. Jack is now on his team. Blair's on his team. Nate's on his back on his team.
But don't call it the Chuck Bass Show because fucking hell, he's really the worst person on this show and only proves it over and over again. Every time he gets worse, everyone rallies around him and is like, oh, well, that's Chuck. Oh, well, he didn't rape you.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why it's the Chuck Bass Show, because everything revolves around Chuck.
It really is just, can we stop?
And they were pretty hard on Nate for being stupid to tell Raina the truth and for forgiving Chuck. The first one, I kind of agree with Nate telling her.
Yeah, I'm not mad about Nate.
Hey, he definitely did forgive Chuck a little fast.
But everybody always does. everybody always does. And that is kind of core to all of the relationships on this show, that every fight that they ever have between anyone usually just ends up being like, bruh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, bruh.
Yeah. Fair enough. That is it for this week in fandom. On to episode grades. It is your turn to go first.
I'm giving it a solid C. I don't think it was great. I found many things I was annoyed with, especially that it is just the Chuck show. There were parts that I liked. Cyrus alone saves it from failing. So yeah, I'm going to go with a solid C.
This was a really weird episode, because I think it was very well made in this individual episode. The only thing that really brings it down is what came before and after, and how it kind of ignores
Yeah.
it. But like, it was well directed. Like, I really liked a lot of the shots, like the shot at the beginning with the glass and Nate looking through the glass. I thought it was really interesting. They did some more interesting shots that Gossip Girl doesn't normally get to do. And there was good dialogue, a lot of good scenes. We got the Blair and Louis scene was really good. The Blair and Cyrus scene was really good. I thought it was like a good episode if you ignore everything that came before it.
Yeah.
So as a standalone episode, I gave it a B-.
That's fair. I kind of tied it in with everything else going on in my grade. Another cool shot was the staircase shot of Chuck going up the stairs. They don't use that too much either.
Yeah.
So. But, the glass, the one through the glass, I thought was a really cool shot. What's also really funny is that glass seems like the kind of glass that's really like the thick, cubed glass, only they had to then make it into a single pane of glass for him to be able to punch through.
Moving over to Stockwatch, who do you have going up?
I wanted to have Blair going up, but she got kidnapped. I wanted to. First of all, I'll give Cyrus an up. I'll give Rufus an up for finding out the information that he needed to find out and looking to do something about it. I will give Louis an up for getting the crown. I was about to give him neutral because he is getting played too, but he got his crown back, and that's more important than Blair. I'll give Eleanor an up because she threw a lovely party. And I'm going to give Caddy and Iz an up for not being under Blair's thumb. I'm going to look at them as being independent instead of being minions and give them a little bit of
I see that more as them being social rejects, but that's just me.
And the final one I'm going to give up is Jack, who goes up this episode. I feel like Chuck does too. I don't want to give it to Chuck, but I feel like Chuck gets everything he needs this time. Like Chuck gets, his name gets cleared, his dad's name gets cleared, his schemes all come through. Chuck has to go up too.
All right. For me, I have Dan going up because he just had a fun party and he was a good guy. He stopped it when things got weird. And
I was so on the fence with that. You know what? Could you give Dan an up for me too? I was on the fence about him, but he did do the good guy thing and was like, no, I'm not going to call you that.
I gave Rufus an up because he was a good father figure to Charlie. Serena up because she finally, kind of apologized with Blair and they made up. I have Eleanor and Cyrus going up because they were good parents for Blair, and now it looks like they're getting a princess daughter. And then I had Jack going up because he was good guy Jack.
Yeah.
He's just Saint Jack now. That is it, though.
Well, he did still sexually harass Raina.
He just asked her, do you want to go back to my hotel? No? Okay, let's continue the meeting.
Yeah.
Shot is shot.
Yeah.
Who do you got going down?
First, I am giving Blair a down. She got kidnapped, and she is now in danger. I am going to give Serena a down. I know you gave Serena an up. I'm giving her a down because she got played by Charlie and then had to turn to Vanessa for help. I'm going to give Vanessa a down because she is on the episode and also continues to be played by Charlie, and shouldn't you be in Spain by now? I almost want to give Nate a down for not just saying, because he can't keep a secret, which he shouldn't have. I agree with him giving the secret away, but I'm going to keep him neutral. Charlie gets a down for whatever is going on with Charlie. Whatever is happening there, her stock did drop today. Raina's stock dropped because she just lost her dad. Oh, and Thorpe's stock goes down because he got found out, and he is a murderer and now a murderer kidnapper. So he's just racking up his downs. Oh, and Headmistress Queller for not locking her office and almost having people bang on her desk.
For me, I had definitely had Nate going down because he forgave Chuck way too fast. Even though they acknowledged that he realized what happened and then just forgave him right away and helped Jack scheme. Blair going down because she is kidnapped and didn't have a great episode before that. It just kept leaving to go help Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you got kidnapped by running off to help Chuck again.
I had Chuck going down because, even though he exonerated Bart, that really didn't do anything for him, and now Russell's still coming for him because he let him go for some reason. But speaking of which, I had Thorpe get down, and I had Raina going down because, she found out her dad's a killer, and Charlie going down because she's going crazy. Apparently. Possibly.
Yeah.
That is it for Stockwatch, though. But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
Best outfit, who did you have?
So, I think I'm going to give this one to Caddy and Iz as a pair. I did love, they came in dressed how they always are. They always have these really interesting outfits that are subtle and yet really intricate and elegant. And I just thought they looked really good, so I'm giving it to Caddy and Iz.
Fair enough. Yeah, not a lot to choose from. What I ended up is nothing fancy, but Blair's white coat and the green scarf she was wearing out and about throughout the episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The one I did consider Charlie and Serena's dress because I do think it looks better on Charlie. Personally, I liked it better on Charlie.
That is it for segments. Do you have anything you want to plug this week?
I do. So I was at the gaming convention, the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo this weekend, and met an author named T.R. Nickel. She's writing a series called The Legends of Lemuria. And as you know, Leif, that my biggest complaint about fantasy literature is that they won't just give me a book, that I need to have 3 or 7, or it has to be a series. And here we have a series that every book is its own independent thing. And that made me want to read it. She also has some one-page dungeons and one-die gaming systems that she has as well. So it was just a lot of fun gaming stuff, and it stood out at these expos. There's often oceans of the same kind of games that you see, and so T.R. Nickel, her stuff just kind of stood out, and so check out her stuff, and you can check out Red Rose Productions as well. So some good stuff there. And outside of that, if you want to find me and hear anything that I have to say, you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at steve.marchon, Marchion.
Nothing for me to plug this week, but you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Blue Sky at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA. You can follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find links to our Patreon, our Discord server, and our subreddit on our website, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, we would love to hear what you have to say. Please feel free to send us an email at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. And we'd love to maybe even read your email back on the podcast here. While you're listening, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like or subscribe, follow button, that would really help us out. And if you could leave a comment on the episode, that really helps our visibility in Spotify and Apple iTunes. And finally, if you could tell your friends what you are listening to, go ahead and spread the word at work and let them know that the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod is available wherever they stream podcasts, and you can make us your water cooler talk.
And we will be back next week to talk about the season finale, Season 4, Episode 22, The Wrong Goodbye.
Oh, that's clever.
The episode description reads, Season 4 wraps up with an explosive finale, including the return of Constance Spillard Bean Girls, Cotty and Iz, a cameo by Gossip Girl author Cecily von Ziesgar, a performance by Airborne Toxic Event, and oh yeah, a few very juicy cliffhangers.
Oh boy. All right, I am excited to get out of here and probably walk about 40 feet and watch that right now.
Well, until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO.
Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me